Because right now, people are coming here to survive.
Yeah.
And they're getting here and they're trying to survive. There's people, we spoke about this yesterday as well,
Yeah.
who are here asking for money for groceries every week.
This right here is by far the craziest reaction video I have ever filmed. All right, so let's get into it. But before we do, smash the like button on today's video and share it out.
Sadly. And that's important too, because the reality is, and we were speaking about this yesterday as well, people are, not this part, but I'm gonna throw this in too. People are coming here with their families. Some people are coming here alone. Some people are coming here with this idea about this place, and it's not always true.
All right, first and foremost, most of the perceptions of Tanzania are based upon deception. All right, you're seeing one side of the story, but not the other side of the story, and because of that, you're not able to ascertain the full gravity of the situation in which you're putting yourself and a lot of times your family into. What does this mean? This means a lot of people are moving over to the continent of Africa based upon deceptions, and when deceptions are revealed and you didn't plan for such deceptions, you now are in an unopportune situation. I call this selling the unicorn. They say, yo, there's a unicorn on this island. And it's true, there's a unicorn on this island. It's beautiful, it's amazing. You can see it, you can check it out. But they're telling you that it's there, that it exists, you can get to it. But they're not telling you the hassle you have to go through to get it. They're not telling you that you got to go through snake-infested waters, alligator-infested waters, that you have to go through poison ivy, and there's no way for you not to get touched by it. They're not telling you that you're going to have to go through a portion in which there's going to be toxic gases that's going to, change the inside of your organs and make them orange or whatever. They're not telling you that the situation you're going to have to go through to get to this unicorn, to see this unicorn. They're only saying there's a unicorn on this island. And so when people are going here, they're running into pitfalls, literal pits, and falling down into these pits in which they didn't expect to fall down into. Poverty being one of them, robberies, hatred, a lot of things, pits that people are falling into, which we'll discuss in today's video. But a lot of deception is going on, and that is a huge portion of why I am doing my best to show both sides of the story.
Right.
People think there's this kumbaya, love, synergy relationship going on here. It's not the case. You're gonna come here, you're gonna be alone. Yeah. You're going to have nobody that's going to go and pick you up without asking you for some money. Yeah. You're going to have a situation where you go down the street, you're going to be most likely taken advantage of in some way.
Yeah.
Your brothers and sisters here, they're not together themselves. How can they help you?
Likely. He just said you're going to be taken advantage of a lot of times as well. The local, not only from the locals will rob you, steal from you, go in your house and take from you. Easily do that. No remorse. Locals will also overcharge you, overprice you for items that they shouldn't be overcharging you for. We're going to talk about that later on in today's video as well. But it's not even just the locals, it's the diaspora as well, because they're going over and becoming impoverished. The diaspora are going over, becoming impoverished, and robbing other members of the diaspora. Not so much as going into your house and robbing from you, but more so in overcharging you, more so in overpricing you. Based on they recommend you certain services, but they're going to get a cutback, a kickback from it. But the person who's recommending you the service, a person who's performing the service, is going to charge you extra more. And it's a situation into which in Tanzania right now they need fresh blood to continue to survive. And so what's happening is they'll bring a person in, Sally. They'll bleed Sally dry to take care of themselves and take care of other people. Then Sally is now in a situation where she's starving. So Susie comes in. And they suck all the blood out of Susie, all the money out of Susie. Circulate that between this, and they need to bring in more people. And so it's almost like a type of pyramid scheme that's going on over there, in which it needs constant fresh blood to survive. And so it's a situation where it's a lot of deception going on. It's a situation into which there's a lot of just bleeding people dry financially there.
I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all case all the time, but this is the common scenario. This is the reality. We cannot let people come here with a false belief of what's here. It's not fair to the mothers with single mothers with the children coming here, because that's a big majority of people coming here are single mothers. Yeah. It's not fair to the elderly people.
All right, let's talk on this. Single mothers are a huge group of people that are going over to Tanzania, that's moving to Africa in general. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about this particular topic. Now, I have to be like this is a touchy subject on the fact that 80% of children are born out of wedlock. And so, of course, the vast majority of people come from a single parent household, or very much right now might be watching this are single parents. I know about, I'll say 60% of people who hit me up happen to be single mothers. 9 out of 10, well, 6 out of 10, I guess, happen to be single mothers. And so it is a very large component of people who are moving to the continent. And so those people also happen to generally fall into hard times financially when they do make the relocation. And so I do want to make sure that, you know, I have my own feelings and opinions on the topic, you know, but that's not necessarily what we're going to talk about in today's video. But what I do have to tell you guys is that, and it's just advising you guys, if you are a single mother who's planning on relocating to the continent, okay, this is what you need to know. In America, you can play both sides. You can at some point be within the feminine and the next point be within the masculine. When you come to the continent of Africa, it's going to be very hard for you to play both sides. You're going to have to choose one. And the one you're going to have to choose 9 out of 10, especially if you're coming over with children, is the masculine. And what I mean by that is, in America, we built a system where women think they don't need men, right? But that system has been taken away from you when you go to the continent. And so what I mean by that is, like, if you fall on hard times financially, you're going to have to go out and find money, because there is not going to be a fallback plan of Section 8, of welfare, of WIC, of, you know, of all these different situations. Like that fallback plan is no longer there, you know, once you go ahead and make that relocation. So you're going to have to stick within the masculine frame of things, because you're going to have to provide for yourself and for your children. And so that, you just be mindful of that. You can't play both sides when you make the relocation. That's something to really consider, is the financial aspect of it. Is how you're going to sustain and maintain yourself for a long point in time. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, the fallback system is kind of going there. And so in America, you can play both sides. You can be female at some point, the masculine at the next point. On a continent, we got to stick within one frame.
That everything's okay. Yeah. Oh, they're building for us. We gonna get over there and they gonna give us a plot of land and all this crazy stuff. No, you're gonna get here. You're gonna have to leave every 3 months until you figure out how to work it out. You're gonna have to figure out how to do business in a country where business doesn't always work well. You're gonna have to figure out a lot of things because there's no pathway here.
Big talk that he said right here. You're gonna have to leave every 3 months until you figure it out. What does figure it out mean? Read between the lines, okay? A lot of scamming going on in Tanzania. We don't want to talk about that right now. We might talk about that later on in today's video. But look, people tell you, okay, the student visa fell through. That's your fault. Forget about student visa. Bring some money to the continent. Invest in the continent. Start a business in the continent. And Mark with Africa, who is somebody who's doing business in the continent, just himself admitted, it's not a business-friendly country. It is not a business-friendly country. Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, however you want to say it, it's not a business-friendly place at all. They are corrupt in that land, very corrupt in that land. They want briberies just to do their jobs. You know, they want you to start businesses without guarantees of success within that business. What I mean by that is, you can apply and put all this money down and not be guaranteed to get the paperwork, to get the visa, to get the renewal, and different things of that nature. And so it's a very shady environment, a very sketchy environment, an environment where it shifts and changes daily based off of who you're dealing with. Now, people will tell you to go over and start a business, but Market Africa is telling you right now, it's not the most business-friendly country. If a company like Uber has to shutter its doors from time to time on occasion, what makes you think that you, somebody who never even started a business a day in your life, understand me? Never started a business a day in your life, never ran a business a day in your life, never even have a full-fledged business plan, has very little capital, is going to outmaneuver, outplan, outthink, outstrategize Uber, a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Who had to shut down its operations over in Tanzania. It's not a business-friendly place. And so people are telling you, this is again based upon deception. Start a business. It's easy, it's nothing to do. But in reality, they may be starting a business or they may not be starting a business, but they're doing, like Mark Meets Africa said, figuring it out. And we'll talk about that in just a second in this video, but they're figuring it out. And by that I mean doing some type of, you know, roundabout maneuvers, you know, to maintain themselves in a country, but they're going to sell you what's this, start a business. So you got to be overly mindful, overly crucial, overly diligent in everything you're doing when you're talking about relocating to the continent, especially if you're talking about sub-Saharan countries such as Tanzania, you know?
Because right now, people are coming here to survive. Yeah. And they're getting here and they're trying to survive. There's people, we spoke about this yesterday as well, who are here asking for money for groceries every week.
There we go, right? Here we go right here. Look. This is when I told people a long time ago, look back on the videos, stuff was going to start getting exposed about this land, about this nation, little by little. The people who are doing the deception will be eventually be getting caught out because they're going to have the wrong people doing this type of environments and the type of activities. But look, he just said it right here. People are coming to survive. They're literally having to beg money for groceries on a weekly basis. Listen to me. I want you to explain this. I knew people in Tanzania that were struggling financially on a high level, to the point where they're having to ask money for groceries, not eat, skip meals, different things of that nature. Now, here's the thing. Do you want to promote this and publicize this? Of course you don't. Why do you not want to promote this and publicize this? On the fact that you have an ethnic image, okay? We as African Americans have an ethnic image. If our ethnic image is we go over to new nations, ill-prepared, ill-planned, financially ill-advised, and we end up having to go to the embassy and get shipped out of these countries, or we go to these countries and we become so poor in these countries that we can't even provide food, then that hurts the ethnic image. Now, when the ethnic image is hurt, that affects the overall outcome of our ability to travel. If we get a name within the international travel community as people who don't make money, who cannot survive, who cannot maintain, countries are going to be very strict upon who they let in and who they don't want to let in, and they're going to be very ruthless upon the African American community. So of course, you don't want these type of situations to get out of hand and get overwhelming. But here's the thing: we are contributing to a poor ethnic image because as we continue to deceive people, we continue to get people over here who are not fully prepared, and thus they end up in poverty situations. And when they end up in poverty situations, that of course in turn affects the ethnic image. And so people are having to beg money for groceries. Listen, this is real stories. You know, people can't even survive. People can't even have money to eat, literally. In a land where you can get food and eat well for $5, $10. People are going absolutely broke in these countries. But people are not mentioning this. People are not sharing this information. And so again, if you are a single mother, you need to be double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking, you know, your financial resources. Again, there is no backup plan for you, you know. So you need to really become overly crucial. For most people who are coming out there, if you are, you know, a man with a family, a man with a wife and children, you need to be overly crucial, overly checking your financial situation, your financial well-being before you make that move, before you make that play, because it is ruthless. It is a jungle. It is a fight to continue to survive, maintain, to thrive, you know. And all praise to the Most High. I can't lie. I've been thriving here on the continent financially, you know, when I left Tanzania, for real, because I got the internet here, you know, I got the consistent power here, I got a high vibrational environment, locals here are getting money, you know, locals here really be having money here, and so you just have a more positive environment to where you can like thrive here, you know, as far as in Egypt. But in Tanzania, it was very difficult. I was able to make money, but it was very difficult, you know what I mean, just the environment overall to get some bread, I can't lie. And so, they don't even want you to film in the malls and all kinds of stuff. Can't even barely film content, you know. That's why all the Tanzanian YouTubers can't even film and show you the set. They got to film inside their house a lot of times and different things of that nature. I can go out and film if I desire to, no problem. Nobody tells me not to film. It's a positive and prosperous country here. But when we talk about people not even having money for groceries, that's despicable. That's sad. That's really bad for the ethnic image. You know, and it's not something that I want to see occur. That's something that I want to see happen. And that's why me personally, one of the few people who are going to be out here teaching people how to make money. You know what I mean? Selling books, selling courses about, hey, this is how you sell on Etsy, doing print on demand, a business you can take anywhere in the world with you. I'm creating a course now about how to create courses. And I want you guys to sign up for the email list right now. It's going to be linked in the description of today's video. Sign up for the email list. So you can be notified when I release that next course. You know what I mean? I'm going to be doing some crazy promotion for it. It's going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. But I want to teach you guys how to take the information you already have and how to turn that into a full-fledged income for yourself. All right? Teach you guys how to sell information. It's genius. It's incredible. But click the link in the description. Sign up for the email newsletter. It's a free email newsletter. But of course, a product that we offer will be paid. We can't give you the product for free. Come on, I got to make money as well. But man, it's crazy.
Wow.
They're not even here legally sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely know some that are definitely not here legally, and were asking me, you know, advice on how. I'm like, I did not know.
Search and we do it off of hope and love and all this stuff, and that's great. But we still have to acknowledge the reality. You can't just go across the world and, I'm not gonna lie, now I might be a little bit of a hypocrite saying this, because I kind of did that, but I didn't,
Kind of is a euphemism. Let's say you did.
I did it. But I will say one
place.
thing that I learned to do very quickly was adapt.
Yeah.
The difference between my story and a lot of other people's stories is a lot of people refuse to adapt.
Right.
They get here, oh, I still need a refrigerator. But do you have refrigerator money?
Listen here. Look, let's get overly practical, overly substantial, overly fulfilled. Mark Meets Africa is talking the truth in this video, man. Big ups to Mark, shout out to him. And I want to say this right here. This is the first thing I want to say. People who go into Tanzania, a lot of times they fall into a particular faith. Maybe it's Israelites, maybe some people are Muslim. But I can speak for the Israelite community. A lot of times we're going over here, we're saying we're just going to make it happen by faith. We're going to hope. We are going to pray. And things are going to go our way, and that we're going to be overly prosperous. And I respect that. I respect that. I can't tell anybody what their level of faith is, what the level of faith is not. Moving overseas overall is the level of faith that it requires. But here's the thing a lot of times too, is that we still do live in a physical world. And regardless of what you may believe or may not believe, you got to understand that there is still due diligence that must be done, prudence that must be done, research that must be done. There's still things on a physical that must be done and must be accomplished before you go ahead and make that play. No matter how much faith you have in different things of that nature, you also got to understand that there is physical procedures that must occur, right? Regardless of what portion of the Bible you look into, there were physical procedures. There physically had to have been altars built. Abraham physically had to take Isaac to the mountain. Yahushua physically had to be on that cross. Spirit is great. Hope is great. Faith is great. Love is great. All these things are great. And it will take you significantly farther than somebody who doesn't have them. But in addition to all of that, you must also have the physical means to maintain yourself. All right? And so what Mark Meets Africa said is one of the big reasons that he was able to sustain and maintain himself and for such a long time was he was able to adapt. He was willing to adapt, which I agree with. Shout out to Mark Meets Africa. I think Mark Meets Africa got a little bit of a satchel on top of that. We can't neglect that. We can't neglect that. But I do believe that he is, more willing to adapt, more able to adapt. He has, I don't know what his reason really for being on the continent is, per se, but there's a strong desire, a burning desire within him to be on a continent. And I'm going to be the person who harps on the financial aspect of it, because black people as a whole don't like talking about money, don't like talking about credit, don't like talking about finances, don't like talking about how much money we make and don't make. We don't like talking about it. And that's by design, that's to keep us impoverished, keep us in poverty. And so we have to talk about money. We have to talk about it. We cannot sit here and say money is evil. We cannot sit here and say that rich is evil. We cannot sit here and say that business is evil. We have to change our what we think about as money. People love to throw out the quote, the root of money, the love of money is rooted to all evil. But the Shema says that in Deuteronomy 6, it talks about it. To love the Most High with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. If you love the Most High with all your heart, your soul, with all your might, you don't have room to love money. The love of the technology, you know what I mean? It's the root to all evil. You can say just about anything, outside of that. Because if you love anything outside of the Most High, that means you're not loving with all your heart, soul, and might. And so, as a result of that, that's where the conflict really comes in. At least that's my understanding and my perception of the matter.
We were doing, he wanted to do business with me, and I didn't actually, because of what he said. He said he was trying to give me advice. In Tanzania, and this is how they talk, right? Yeah,
Oh my God.
They get all
boisterous.
Yeah, but it'd be different if he was saying something that was inspirational. This man said, in Tanzania, it's okay to lie if you get business.
What?
I said, when is it okay to lie to get, and he meant it. He didn't even mean on a large scale. Because I asked him, can you go into that
Elaborate,
a little? He said, let's say you have somebody on the street that looks like they can pay more, or just looks like they don't know what they're doing. charge them more.
Big ups to Mark Meets Africa. Big ups to Maya Speaks. I appreciate Maya Speaks for posting this content. I appreciate Mark Meets Africa for being overly transparent on this video. Listen, overcharging, deception is a way of life on the continent. Deception is a way of life on the continent. YouTubers in the African American diaspora are deceiving you. Tanzanians, when you go to the market, are deceiving you. The government there is deceiving you. Deception is everywhere in sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa. Deception is everywhere. But deception is very bad. From my experience in Tanzania, you know, like you said, they look for opportunities to do evil, to do harm. I love reading the book of Proverbs, and a lot of times in that book, you know, it talks about like people laying in wait for the innocent, people looking to spill blood. And people may look, and it depends on how you look at the Bible, but people may look at that as a physical standpoint, as somebody really waiting to do evil to somebody, really waiting to kill somebody and things of that nature. But the way I look at it is like this is exactly what those scriptures are talking about when they say like they're lurking to do evil. They're waiting for evil. You know, they're looking back and waiting for prey, waiting for the innocent and the poor and the impoverished. They're waiting for, you know, somebody who's weak to come by and to prey upon them, right? And you know, Psalms talk about this. The book of Psalms talk about this a lot as well. But those people will get recompensated at some point in time. But that's the way you feel in Tanzania. That people are like lurking. They're waiting. They're just looking to just sink their teeth into you, waiting for the proper moment to sink their teeth into you. And that's how it feels. And this is kind of how you sum it up. Like you said, the businessman's talking about it's okay to lie as long as you get good business. If you see somebody who looks like they don't know what they're doing, overcharge them. If you see somebody who looks like they are confused, overcharge them. Somebody who looks like they have more money, overcharge them. You know, take more from them. Take what you can. Bite off a limb of theirs, right? This is essentially what they're saying. Like really put it into the spiritual context. And this is what's going on is they're looking for prey. You know, they're on a prowl at all moments in time to do wicked and to do evil unto people who have no intention and who have no ability to do them evil. You know, and so that's something that's crazy to me, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I left Tanzania is I couldn't vibe with it. The overall vibration is a vibration of deception. The overall vibration is a vibration of evil, of wicked, of hatred, of lies. You know, the overall vibration is a vibration of, it's not a holy vibration there. You know, it's not a holy vibration. So for some people who believe it's the Holy Land and things like that, wow, you know, I can't say that it's not. You know, because we're always learning new things every day, but the vibration here is not a vibration of love. It's not a vibration of camaraderie. It's a vibration of selfishness. It's a vibration of violence. You know, it's a vibration of violence, and it's not physical violence. Nobody's gonna come and talk you in your face, but it's a attack upon innocence. It's an attack upon people who are generous and who are loving and who are kind. It's a great attack upon people like that. Because it makes you to be, you know, I'm already a ruthless person based off my environment, you know, based off my environment. And so for me, it's cool. But for people who have been far removed from that trench mentality, or for people who have never been inside the trenches, when you go there, it's going to make you ruthless. It's going to make you hardened. It's going to make you calloused and things of that nature, man. It's a rough environment, for real.
The same price because that's what brotherhood and sisterhood is. You go charge them more. See, the reason I'm saying this like an issue right now is because this isn't what Mark thinks. This is what I'm seeing the community face.
Yeah,
it's not me. True. Oh, I'm feeling bad and bitter because people are doing this. I avoid it.
Yeah.
But our brothers and sisters who can avoid it, who don't avoid it, who won't avoid it, are getting scammed and hassled every day. They're getting more and more bitter.
Yeah.
They're ruining their image of Africa. They're ruining their image of their people.
Right.
All for the sake of 35 shillings.
Exactly.
Really?
And we were.
All right, boom, right here. Look, I can relate to Mark Meets Africa in this situation right here. I call this a gang mentality. You know, I think maybe me being from LA, when you're from LA, regardless of your activity or your lack of activity, gang culture will run your life. Right? Gangs run the inner cities of LA. Gang culture will run your life. It will determine what you can and cannot say. It will determine what you can and cannot wear. It will determine where you can and you cannot go. Gang culture runs LA. And so a part of my mentality, I think basically from the environment, my upbringing, is gang mentality, which is even like it has to be all or nothing, right? It has to be all or nothing. Just because I can avoid a situation, but my brothers and my sisters cannot, that doesn't mean that I should not care about that situation. That means I should overly care about that situation because my brothers and my sisters are an extension of me, right? They're an extension of me, and thus, as a result of me being tied into them, right, being locked in with them, if they're facing injustice, I'm facing an injustice, even if I personally am not the one facing it. I noticed in the diaspora community in Tanzania, that's not how it is. It is a more selfish mentality. It is a more individualized mentality. It is a more, if I'm good, then I'm good. If y'all bad, y'all bad. That got nothing to do with me mentality. I like Martin East Africa's ability to connect and relate to other members of the diaspora, even if he's not facing those particular problems. I'm having an issue with the visa. Eddie, it's okay, just marry a local Tanzanian. So what am I supposed to tell my brothers and sisters who are already married and have children, right? What am I supposed to tell, and of course, well, that's not our topic about today, but who are married and have children, what am I supposed to tell other people? Oh, just divorce your wife and marry a Tanzanian so you can stay? No, that a unfair visa policy is an unfair visa policy. I don't even want to promote a country, and this kind of shows you the wickedness people have too. Just marry a local and get your visa. There's not even a honor system or a code system. Just, it's just like unfair is unfair. Could I have found ways to stay in Tanzania? Of course I could have. But it's the overall fact that I know that I don't want to promote a country that has no love for my people, right? Even if I could find a way to stay there legally or illegally, whatever way I decided to stay, I wouldn't want to promote a country that has hatred for my people to come there, right? Regardless of if I choose the responsibility or not, as a YouTuber, as somebody who makes content, number one, I open myself up always and consistently to criticism, right? I share my life with people. People are going to like certain aspects. They're not going to like other aspects. I'm going to open myself up to criticism. That's something you got to accept. But also, you open yourself up to being an influence, all right? Regardless of if I determine myself to be an influencer or not, I'm influencing people by making content. So if I'm continuously making content about Tanzania, showing the positive, showing the goods, people decide that I want to move to Tanzania and they move there and they get a wicked experience, I'll be partially to blame for that. So when people continue to ask me, and this is how I know people are not tied in, I say gang ties, right? People continue to ask me, why do you keep talking about Tanzania? Or why are you so negative and have hatred to Tanzania? I was in Tanzania for maybe 6 months. I showed a lot of the positives when I was there. I enjoyed the country and things of that nature. But as a result of, once I found out about the wickedness and the cruelness and the hatred and the despicableness that goes on in such a country as that, I had a responsibility, I still have a responsibility to go out and to right my wrongs and say, hey, I may have promoted this country before, I don't promote it now, right? I may have shown the positives, but let me also show you the negatives. I have to right my wrongs, and this is what I'm saying is, somebody may have watched my video 8 months ago and not have seen another video from my channel since then. They may come across this video and say, wow, I'm glad I saw this video because now I have more context. Now I have the opposite side of the story, both sides of the story, right? If I promoted one thing as good and now I realize that it's not good, I should also clarify this. And even in Tanzania, when I was living in there, I told the people about the negatives and the toxic portions of it and about how to be prepared for this and how to be prepared for that. I did that type of stuff because that's the type of person that I am. I'm not going to be halfway doing it. But, I still have a responsibility to show both sides of it.
Yeah.
Your value kicked in. You said, am I worth this?
Yeah.
It's not patience and understanding to a certain point.
Yeah.
We have to realize we're worth a lot more than that. And so are they, but we are. Let's think about us.
Yeah.
We don't deserve to be stressed out and lied to and feeling like everything is a fight.
Yeah.
We leave a place where everything is a fight. And then we come to a place where everything's a mental fight.
Oh,
brothers and sisters
goodness.
here, I'm telling you, what you guys are seeing now is not us being negative. This is a true story.
Yeah.
This is what you guys might have to face when you get here. It's not a one-off scenario. This is a common occurrence. Tanzanians say the same stuff.
Yeah.
About the tailors when you bring it and they got like 35 orders and they'll tell you it'll be ready in a week and it's 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not that they didn't know. It'd be different if they actually didn't know. They knew and intentionally deceived you. Exactly. That is the businessman. I do business. Yeah. I do business and I talk to business people here.
We need to put ourselves first. So many diaspora are coming over with the white savior complex, transitioning to the black man's mind. We need to save the Africans. We need to help the Africans. We need to bless the people of the land. We need to teach them who they really are. We need to spread the truth. We need to spread the light. We need to be pillars and beacons and things like this for the locals. We first need to do all that for ourselves. the Bible will tell you, pull the great giant red oak tree out of your own eye. Firstly and primarily before you worry about pulling a splinter out of your brother. You have to take care of yourself first. We as a diaspora community are not even together within ourselves internally, right? On an individual level. We are not together on a more external level as a community. There's division, there's strife, there is jealousy, there's conflict, there's this disgruntledness within our own community. We have no right nor any ability to attempt to try to save anyone. We need to first save ourselves. We need to first respect ourselves. We need to first come together with a positive, prosperous environment, and then worry about other people. And that's all it is. Like you said, man, you're probably gonna face this when you come here. Just be prepared and be expecting this type of thing to occur to you and to happen to you. But man,
how intelligent they are, and you tell me, okay,
the Sharubu priests and stuff. People are coming over here to form new religions.
Yeah.
I found that out the hard way.
Wow.
Because people were inviting me to business meetings only to have a church session.
Really?
Like, hold on, you just lied to me.
Oh my God.
It'd be one thing if you told me directly, I might go.
Yeah.
But do not. That is some of the most down low, dirty, nasty, creepy, nasty stuff you can do.
Wow.
And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. That is low down. People are doing that.
That's...
People are here to start some people are here to start cults. I knew a few brothers that came over here just to go and do polygamy with like a bunch of random women. They impregnated like 40, 50 women and left.
I think I heard something about that. Somebody even did a video.
It wasn't a few. It wasn't one. It was a lot.
Wow.
And the ones that don't have channels and the ones I've talked to them. I got some stories.
Wow.
This is who we are.
And like you said, as far as the polygamy situation, shout out to him for exposing that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, with the polygamy situation, this occurs because of the lack of unity, because they can do this without consequence, because we're not tapped in, we're not tied into enough people. We don't have a system of leadership, right? We don't have a system of elders. We don't have a system of elders. You know, we don't have a system of, okay, I know if I do this, there's going to be a consequence delivered to me by this person, and it's going to be reciprocated by all other individuals within the community. What I mean by that is, here in the neighborhood that I live in, people can't come here and steal from me my bike. They can't come take my bike from me because there's a neighborhood here. Everybody knows everybody here. The children know the children know the adults know the elders know the youth know so that it's too tight and it's too connected. And so when I go to this person and say, yo, what happened to my bike? They're gonna go to this person and he's gonna say, oh, this happened to it, this person took it. And so when this person gets caught out, then what's gonna happen is they're gonna be disciplined. And everybody within the community is going to respect the discipline that was given to that person, right? It's not gonna be a situation into which one person gonna try to discipline this person, but this person gonna stop them from doing it. No, it's gonna be a systematic discipline where everybody's in agreement and everybody's in concurrence with it because there's actual leaders within the community. And because that is lacking within a black community, people can do whatever they want, when they want, how they want, and there's no consequence involved with it. But with everything, there has been rules, boundaries, and limitations. You know, you can't just impregnate 40 women to leave. There's consequences to that. You know what I mean? There's women that have to get, health care and this and that and birth the baby and now raise the baby. And so you can't be that. Like, that's some type of stuff that, again, affects the ethnic image. That's the type of stuff that, again, is going on because there's no leadership.
They don't get to come back.
Right.
I had a brother, and I don't want to call anybody out, but I had a brother, he was asking me about the visa and what happens if it expires. I said, do not let it expire. It's this much if it expires. That's the fine. This is the consequence.
Yeah.
Checked on him like a week later. I said, is everything good? Did you get the problem solved? Yeah. A month later, he calls me. Hey, man, I'm in the police station. What happened? Wow. They caught me walking around looking like a dang in the most touristic areas. Looking like a tourist.
Here we go right here. Look, people are going over there living like bums. People are living in Tanzania like bums, illegally staying there, having no money, going broke to the point where they can't fly back home. People are living like scoundrels in Tanzania, not necessarily based fully on themselves, portion of it, but based upon a deception. Oh, it's easy to get a visa in Tanzania. Very easy to get a visa. Yeah, right, that's a lie. You know, oh, visa, don't worry about this. Start a business, start this, do this. It's nothing. It's no problem. Coming here and realizing that's not the case. Getting into some sticky situations, not taking the visa policy serious. Hey, I'm gonna go here. I'll wait till my visa about to expire in 2 days, and I'll go finish this. That's not gonna be an issue. Everybody said it's easy. Someone on YouTube said it's easy. Someone on YouTube said it's easy. Don't worry about it. I got it taken care of. I'll go 2 days before it expires. I even let it expire. Who cares? They don't care, right? They love us here, right? And they get to the situation and realize, oh wow, overly crucial, overly verified. This is wicked, beyond belief. You know, and people are getting arrested. Let me tell you like this. People are going to jail left and right in Tanzania. Are they showing that? Are they exposing that? Man, they not showing that. They not exposing that. People are going to jail, getting arrested every day in Tanzania. You know, people are getting, you know, put into incarceration centers. People are getting sent back to the United States left and right. People are man, it's crazy what's going on in Zania. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. People are doing illegal stays in Tanzania. Doing a little bit of roundabout work. The government knows what you're doing, you know. I gotta be honest with you, the government knows what you're doing, and as a result of them knowing, they're eventually going to come in and lay recourse little by little, and if they haven't started already, you know. I don't really keep in contact with too many folks that's in Tanzania as much as I used to, you know, but people are getting arrested, people are going to jail, you know, people are getting sent back, people are getting sent back to the States via the embassy because they don't have money to fly themselves and their families back, you know. But my camera's about to die, so I'm gonna have to pause the video here and bring it back in a second.